I'm sharing my screen now. But before I start the lecture, did you receive anything from the university regarding your midterm time, date, and location?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I think the date been confirmed, صح؟ اللي هو 30th of November, is it?
Yes.
Most probably the time will, because it will be the setup or the schedule will be same as the final. I think the time will be 11:30 because same as the final. Location, I don't know still, but the date is 30th. So start getting ready for chapter 1, 2, 3, as we said. Will be the midterm. As they said it should be only one midterm, and it will carry 30% according to the university regulation for this semester. This is one thing you should be very careful about, because there are going to be, I think, one midterm only. And also next week, Tuesday, you'll be submitting your assignment 3 and 4. As I said, it will be 16th of November, which will be Tuesday by midnight. So most probably I'll be sharing with you the link for shared folder by 10 o'clock. I'll leave it for 2 hours open, 2 shared folder for assignment 3 and 4. Then by 12 midnight, I'll close it. So make sure that you are ready for your assignment to upload it in these 2 hours.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Doctor, I don't know if you have corrected our previous assignments so that we know where our mistakes are.
You are cutting off. Sorry, Mariam, again.
I'm asking if you can, I don't know if you corrected previous assignments so that we can at least know where the mistakes lie carrying on the next assignments.
Sure.
Also, a lot of students, doctor, had a problem with uploading, like even myself, when I uploaded to the shared folder, I don't know if it got uploaded or not. There was like a doubt. So how
normally when I receive it, then I send straight away that already received. I can do one thing for this time. Once I close the link, I'll send the names which I received from them, or at least a screenshot of my screen that these are the names of which I received from them. I can do this time also. Yes.
Thank you. That will be perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
دكتورة في الأسايمنت الرابع قلتي نسوي عن 2 theories، يعني 2 theories حق نفس البلد ولا 2 theories حق different countries يعني؟
It's not countries, it's cultural. It's 2 civilization. يعني قلنا حق ثقافتين، يعني 2 different, of course different.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, today we'll be talking about another methodologies in this chapter for resolving ethical practices or unethical practices or case studies. The first one, if you remember, it was using code of ethics. The second one was employing the moral theories, the 4 moral theories: the utilitarian, duty, right, and virtue. And today in this chapter, throughout this chapter actually, we are going to learn 2 new methods. One, it's called drawing line. Let's say they call it line drawing methodology for resolving ethical case studies, and the fourth one is using a flow chart for resolving ethical case studies. On this chapter, we'll apply ethical problem-solving methods to hypothetical and real case studies, as what we've been doing the previous chapters. We'll see how flowcharting can be used to solve ethical problem as well as line drawing. And then we'll learn a new concept, which one of them, and the most popular one of them, is bribery. And we learn how can we avoid it, and how can we distinguish between a certain practice and bribery. So we'll be learning new techniques, new roadmaps. We'll try to draw new roadmaps in order to achieve ethical engineering practices. So this type of a problem-solving approach, while sometimes useful for engineering analysis of problem, is less useful for ethical problem solving. So using the one which we are going to discuss in this chapter, it's very much related to, let's say, assumptions or knowledge and background experience. So this is why they say it's a matter of building your assumption based on your previous knowledge. So some people, they don't trust these methods, but it might help you to understand at least the case itself. So you need to have a thorough, let's say, thinking of the problem before you attempt this problem. And solving engineering problem, it is always tempting to look for an appropriate formula, plug in numbers, and calculate the answer. This is what we do in any engineering problem. An ethical problem, it's different. We build on knowledge, on qualitative rather than quantitative methods. Although sometimes numbers would help, but normally it's very much related to your understanding, your judgment, your analysis, relating things together in order to look at the full picture so that you can achieve or reach the final decision. There are theories that help us to frame our understanding of the problem, but there are no formula or no easy method for reaching a solution. Many situation encounters by practicing engineering are ambiguous or unclear, involving conflict moral principle, and that we've been saying that all the time. This is the type of a problem for which we will most need analysis and problem-solving method. Whenever we have this kind of conflict of a theories or concept, now in this case we need to find other types or other methodologies to solve our problem. A first step in solving any ethical problem is to completely understand all of the issues involved. And that's what we've been saying. We need to understand, to read thoroughly, to understand, to find fact, if you remember, and to find the concept and relate it to the moral theories, code of ethics. We've been saying that most of the time. This is why we said in this chapter, we are going to give it, let's say, more specific categorizing titles. In order to understand any ethical problems, we need to split it into three categories: factual, which is finding fact; conceptual, finding the concept behind the case study; and finally related to the moral theories. And we've been saying this all that. So this part we did cover on the previous two chapters. In order to relate them all together, as such, we are solving a puzzles in here. Factual issues involve what is actually known about the case, i.e. the facts. And we know that. Although this concept seems straightforward, the facts of a particular case are not always clear and may be controversial. For example, global warming is of a great concern to society as we continue to emit greenhouse emission into the greenhouse GHG, greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere. I'm trying to say that even sometimes some concept, it seems to be very clear and obvious to some, but still it would be ambiguous and it's not clear, or some people even doubt other the concept itself, like global warming. Some people, they found that it is very obvious, it's very clear, understandable, the science could explain it, but some people, they think, well, are you sure what you are having because of something called global warming or climate change? Do you think this is true? Do you think it is really of that impact? So still, some people are doubting this kind of some obvious concept or theories. This is thought by climate scientists. We say that, and just but with this is why some people, they said, if this concept is that obvious, that clear, it means that engineers should be able to solve the problem. So since they can't solve the problem, it means it's not very much obvious. Well, it's convincing, but still changing weather, changing climate, temperature, it's all due to this kind of practices. Conceptual issues have to do with the meaning of applicability of an idea. In engineering ethics, this might mean defining what constitutes a bribe as opposed to an acceptable gift. One of the main concepts that we are going to discuss thoroughly in this chapter, it's a bribe. When we can call a bribe is a bribe, or when we can call it a gift. As is the amount, the value, the time where when the gift is given, to whom it would be given, by whom it would be given, where and how. All of this would define or differentiate between the definition of a commodity or an item to be defined, to be given a title, a gift, or to be given a title of a bribery. In the case of the bribe, the value of the gift is probably a well-known fact. It could be, but not necessarily. What isn't known is whether accepting it will lead to unfair influence on a business decision. This could be another, debate. For example, conceptually, it must be determined if the gift of ticket to a sporting event by a potential supplier of part for your project is meant to influence your decision or is just a nice gesture between a friend. So, do you think that somebody could say this clearly, that because of this gift, because of that thing which I was given, it affected my decision? Or it was simply a gift between two people or two persons, they might be friend, or they are, it's a gesture. يعني من باب الذوق أو من باب يعني خلينا نقول المعرفة خلينا نقول بينهم. Who would say that? We'll be discussing this thoroughly. So of course, like factual issues, conceptual issues are not always clear-cut and will often result in a controversy as well. Like what we said, what we've been saying in the concept, like the climate change thing. Also, the conceptual, as we said, people, they might assume giving away things to be a gift, or while others, they might call it bribery. Once the problem is defined, usually clear it is usually clear which moral concept applies, and the correct decision becomes obvious. If we could define clearly if the gift is gift or it is a bribery, then I could decide, I can clearly decide which reaction need to be taken. A gift offered by a sales representative, once it is determined whether it is simply a gift or is really a bribe, then appropriate action is obvious. If we determine that it is indeed a bribe, then it cannot ethically be accepted. Factual issues can often be resolved through research to establish the truth, so I need to investigate in order to find it. Conceptual issues are resolved by agreeing on the meaning and applicability of terms and concepts. Moral issues are resolved by agreement as to which moral principles are relevant and how they should be applied. So whenever in order for me and to understand ethical problem, I need, as we said, to resolve it or to categorize it into 3 levels: fact or factual, conceptual or concept, finding concept, and related to the moral theories. And I need to know what do I mean by factual issues. I think we did a lot of case studies about it, and also moral issues, and also we are going to discuss a few more case studies which relate moral theories or which will employ the moral theories as well. And as well, it will, in order to understand it, I have to specify the concept. Once I differentiate, or once I categorized or I stated what concept is employed, then I clearly, if I'm an ethical person, I know what is right, what is wrong, what is, virtue, and what is vice, and I need to clearly decide what is ethical and what is unethical, if and only if the person who is going to let's say decide or to take a decision, if him or herself is an ethical person. An unethical problem, how do we analyze? We said that. We have a case study. You have it in your textbook. I'll be discussing it, but it is a very lengthy. I just summarized it. It's called paradigm computer. But before I discuss the paradigm computer, I think it would be sorry. I think it would be a good chance for me now at this moment or at this stage to ask this question: when do you think, and how do you think, at what, let's say, how could I say, how can I ask this question? Let me put the question this way. Let's say, inshallah, after graduation, and you join, let's say, an industry or private sector or other, and you worked in other places, and after few months or years of working, you've been given, by a client or by, let's say, business provider, or by, let's say, business partner, or by somebody whom you met during your let's say work itself. You've been given, let's say, thing. It could be called a gift, or it could be called a bribe. If I ask you this question, when do you think, if somebody would give you something during your duty period, or let's say during a working period, will be considered a gift or a bribe? When, how, why. Just explain me when a gift could be called a gift or when a gift could be called a bribe. Let me see, because we'll be discussing this thoroughly in this chapter, but let me see, what do you think? Mariam, let me hear from Mariam.
So basically, I believe that when a gift becomes a bribe is when you are working currently with this client or with this person, and the person who gave you the gift or bribe is expecting you to change or accommodate because of this gift. So this is where we distinguish between the two. For example, let's say if I was giving a teacher a gift,
Mm.
if the teacher changes my grade because of this gift, it's a bribe. However, if they remain the same and standard with all, no changes or no accommodation for this person because of this gift, then it would be considered a gift and not a bribe, in my opinion.
How would you know that this gift would change? According to your, let's say, you're saying that it might change. The teacher might change my grade. It means that the grade was given, then she's changing or he's changing. The teacher is changing the grade, or what?
Yes, yes, exactly. For example, in their mind, they have already set a grade, but then after the student came with something from their hand, they changed it because, they took the bribe.
This is very obvious. This is definitely, But I'm saying that you've been given now. It's what you're saying. It's a very obvious. It's not even a bribe. It is kind of, paying for the grade or paying for something. That. But I mean, when the gift, it was clearly, for example, you are in the middle of a day and somebody knocked the door and he said, "Oh, salam, Mariam, how are you? You are the engineer. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is a nice gesture from the company to you." And
I think
now,
it's when their
now
intention is, or they're expecting to for an influence or a benefit. When the person's coming with that intent, then it becomes a bribe.
okay, this is the question. How would you know what you've been given is a bribe, and how would you know that this is a gift?
أكيد بيبين من الأسلوب يعني the type of gift يمكن will determine the way they approached me, the things they said, or they could have thrown a hint there, here and there. So you need to watch out for those as well.
This could happen, if you are an experienced person, if you have some, a few years of working, maybe. But let's say you are just fresh junior engineer, and you've been put in this position, and now somebody of those, big client came and spoke to you, and they give you, could be a ticket, could be, I'm not saying a check of money. It could be a ticket to a concert. It could be a ticket to travel with your family, or it could be, let's say, an invitation to a restaurant. It's not always money. A facility, or let's say an invitation to go and play with him or with her in a club, or for squash, or golf, or whatever. It could be so many things. This is the thing. It's a big issue, by the way. It's a big issue. Okay, okay. Thank you, Mariam. Let me hear from Saad. Yes, Saad, go ahead.
I feel like it's based on the relation between the two people. So if they're close, or they have a history as like they're friends or something, and they know each other, then we can see that this is an innocent gift. But if it would be weird if someone that we don't know or rarely know gives us a gift. I'm not saying that this has to always be a bribe, but if, as Mariam said, if it can benefit them, if they can persuade this person that they're giving the gift to give them more of the things that they want, that it could be considered a bribe. I feel like it's more it depends on the relation between the two people.
Okay, let me hear from Nariman, then I'll reflect on your answer. Nariman?
I think when my judgment on the subject of the work affects the person who gives this thing, يعني, it will be a bribe. So maybe sometimes it will be accepted thing because we expected that for example, we exchanged some gifts before, or we know each other, and I think also the bribe. يعني always it be يعني شغال يكون, it's not just a thing between friends, or it's يعني economic thing, يعني بتكون غالية شوي.
سوف يعني إلى الحين كلكم قاعد تقولون based on personal judgment. خلينا نسمع أحمد يلا. نبي واحد شرير شوية يقول لنا شيء. كلكم طيبين ما يصير كذي.
To me, a bribe, doctor, is when a gift is restricted with a service or a position or a change in the normal standards يعني.
بعد أنت مو شرير أحمد بعد صراحة. لحظة يا أحمد محمد، أنا حطيت أحمد حمود في لا ما أحمد محمد سوري.
أنا أحمد محمد دكتورة، يمكن يبين من الصورة.
إيه بس أنا حطيت مساعة على أحمد حمود بالغلط.
Actually doctor يعني I've seen actually bribe situations where
that's nice.
people offer gifts.
Okay, let's hear about your story. Interesting.
Okay, it's actually here in Bahrain and with a big company where it was a supermarket. Okay, it's a big supermarket and there was انه كان عندهم عامل يعني هو اللي يستلم الطلبات من الشركات اللي بتدش في المناقصة. هي كانت حق ستينلس ستيل، حق يسوون الشلفات والثلاجات في السوبر ماركت. وكان هذا الموظف اللي في السوبر ماركت يقيم كل شركة على شغلها يعني في الستينلس ستيل، وفي النهاية انه يعني كان يطلب من الشركة اللي اعرفها او اللي يعني
بتقدم الكوتيشن
الكوتيشن، كان يطلب منهم انه يعني قال لهم انه عجبني شغلكم وكذي وهاي، بس انه يعني انه ابي نسبة مقابل اختاركم او انه ترسي يعني الصفقة عليكم.
one of the most obvious thing في خاصة في الانجينيرينج هذه اللي هو نسميه could be quotation could be لما يكون في competition kind of quotation فيكون دائما عندنا هاي this kind of thing. Now with respect of the difference ما حد فيكم قال أو ما حد تصور okay before even accepting the gift or considering it as a gift or a bribe, the first thing you have to whenever you have any, you came across, let's say, a situation with a client or somebody would not even, not only, giving you things, even calling you, after working hour, for example, or delivering things to your house, or offering to assist your family or your friend, or inviting you for lunch, or even giving you a gift, or anything, any kind of relation with a client or a stakeholder or somebody who might you deal during your duty hours. first you have to look at the policies of the company. This is number one you have to do if you would like to be on the safe side. This is number one. You have to look at the policies. Sometimes the policies of the company says no gift to be received, no matter during working hour, after working hour, cheap one, expensive one, from client, from competitor, from business provider. خلاص, this door should be closed. This is number one, policies. Number two, when you would be given, try to look at it. Am I given because of my services, or it's given to everyone? Is it given under the table, or it's given in the front of everyone? Can I take it out in the front of everyone, or I'm always afraid that somebody would know about it? Can I speak about it loud? I should go and inform my superior about it, my managers or my supervisor about it, to be in safe side. I should speak about it loud so everybody would know about it, and nobody will hold anything against me. So many things you have to, because definitely if you are junior engineer, the price will be different. If you are a senior engineer, if you are the CEO, if you are the GM, if you are business owner, definitely even if it is a normal gift, the price will be different. So it's not a matter because I've been given something worth 100 dinar, or if something is worth 1,000 dinar, definitely, because your level is different. So it's the first thing is the policies. The second thing, can I speak about it loud? As you said, is it going to affect my decision? Is it given to me during or in the middle of a project, which because of building this kind of relation, it is going to affect my decision with respect of this project? So many questions I have, and this is how would you know, as you said, or some of you said, definitely by experience I would know it. It would be obvious during their talk, during the requirement, during their the clues, throwing words here and there. You will understand that, but it comes by experience. But you won't be able to know it from day one. Sometimes from day one, especially if we are a young engineer, we feel embarrassed. Oh, it's so embarrassing to reject their gift. It's so embarrassing to tell them no, thank you, I can't take this. I had to take it because he was an elder person, or she's a lady, or because I thought I was treating him like my father. We use these terms, especially we Eastern people. We because of these kind heart feeling, we might put ourselves in a trouble. So you should always differentiate between personal and professional practices. Then if you've been given something, you should speak about it loud. You have to inform your superior about it. It's better not to take it home with you, especially if it is something which you think it's better to be kept in the office. There's normally kind of shelves, or I don't know, cabinet, or I don't know, they call it gift cabinet or whatever, where they can keep things hidden. So there are so many things. There is no simple answer, to be honest, for this question, honestly speaking. Sometimes even a very professional people, they caught responsible, and I'm sure that you heard so many stories, or you read about, or you watched movie. Even professional expert people, they caught responsible, and sometimes innocently they accepted that kind of gift, and it tend to be taken against them. especially with the social media things, with those cameras, the hidden cameras these days, you know, you should be very careful of what to say and what to accept, what to take, where to take, and how much to take, and so many things. But the golden rule, the policies of the company. I think I'll stop in here. Then next time when I see you, inshallah, on Tuesday, we'll be discussing the paradigm case study. It would be a good chance if you start reading about it. It's a very lengthy, detailed case study, but it's good to know the concept and details about it. But of course, I'm not going to ask you to write about it during the exam, of course, definitely. Okay. Yes, Naima.
دكتورة احنا في situation وخدينا هدية وتكلمنا عنها لو سوينا كل شيء، بس بعدين صارت أي مشكلة أو كان الشخص غرضه رشوة وإحنا ما كنا ندري وتكلمنا عنها وقلنا supervisors، هل بعدين بيكون علينا إحنا بعد غلط إن إحنا قبلناها؟
الواقع الأفكت الإمباكت بيكون much less. When you are hiding things حتى لو كان something very little, very minor, or very innocent, it might be escalated and it might be, you know, interpreted that it is a real bribe or a fraud. Otherwise, why she hid that thing? Like when you said it obviously and you said it clearly in front of everyone, even if there would be an impact, but it will be very little.
دكتورة, I would like to add something on my
Yes, Ahmed.
إنه لو كان الابتزاز بعد ما we received, يعني ما كان إنه it was restricted يعني with هالسيرفيس من البداية، بس بعدين لما قبلت الهدية أو مثلا استخدمتها بعدين صار مثلا الابتزاز إنه أنا أعطيتك وأنت خذيت مني رشوة فأنت لازم تقدم لي هالخدمة يعني، فشنو مثلا ممكن إن أنا كإنجينير أسوي في هالحالة؟
طبعا بيكون عندنا كيسز ان sometime حتى مو قبل السيرفيس years after receiving the bribe، يعني في ناس يخططون قبل، خلينا نتعرف عليه، خلينا نبني علاقة مع مع المهندس الفلاني، لأن عقب سنة في مشروع جاينا نحتاجه ترى، وهو الشخص المعني في هالموضوع. يعني في هالخبث ساعات يكون موضوع مثل ما قلت لكم في البداية. أول شيء البوليسيز الشركة نفسها. 2 لازم تتكلمون عنها مع المانجرز أو السوبيريور، ولازم يكون قدام الكل، لازم ينحط الموضوع قدام الكل. يعني مثلا إذا أحد أعطاني مثلا أحد أعطاني موبايل مثلا، زين هذا الموبايل هل أنا أعطوني إياه قال لي this is between us, okay, don't mention it. okay, I should know that there is something behind that. لكن إذا والله أعطوني إياه زين والله thank you for your services and so وأنت طلعت من المكتب والله it was nice from that company مثلا because of our service that they give us this mobile قدام الكل زين. إذا كان البوليسي يمنع الحين مو قدام الكل ولا هيدن، ما لازم ينوخذ هاي الشيء. So many things need to be، يعني مثلا احنا ساعات يجون شركات يجيبون أقلام، يجيبون شنط، أنا متأكد أنتم رايحين بعض الزيارات إن مثلا الدكاترة يعطونهم قلم من نوع معين، أنتم يعطونكم الباجز فيها أشياء. هل هذه يعتبر برايبري؟ لا، it is gesture to build relation مع الجامعة، إن مثلا إن أنتم قاعد تعطونا طلبة وإحنا قاعدين نخدمكم ذي، والدكتور اللي مثلا ممكن يسوي لهم studies، ممكن يسوي لهم research أو whatever، ممكن يعطونا قلم من ماركة معينة، في mutual interest، في mutual خلينا نقول. وبعدين الجامعة هي وقعت memorandum of understanding مع هاي الشركات، يعني أنتم ما تروحون هاي الشركات إلا الجامعة already بوقع معاها memorandum of understanding. لكن إذا واحد بيعطيني لأن طلبتهم لازم أنا يكون لهم نوع special treatment في درجاتهم في تعاملهم. This is another issue. فمثل ما قلت لكم there is no clear simple answer for this. Nobody could give you this kind of thing. You should know how to say how to differentiate from, as you said, from the clues, from the language, from the services required, the time, the value, all of this will give you an indication. Okay, they give, but you should not be simple-minded, honestly speaking. Always suspect things. Why me? Why they gave me this gift? Why they are offering me that kind of services? Why they give my children and my wife or my husband or my family a ticket for, let's say, 3 days, a trip to, let's say, I don't know, to a resort, for example, to why me? What do they need from me? So you should always question this kind of gift. But to give you a clear, simple answer, honestly speaking, we can't do this. But we're going to have a few case studies that it will tell you that different attitude, different ways of giving things, it tend to be it tend to be bribes. But in the first place, first position or first glance, it seems to be very obvious that it was a gift, but it turned to be a bribe. And as you said, not currently, after 1 or 2 years even. Unfortunately, we can't help it. Some people are really evil, and they're the way they plan for it. But we have to be very careful. Okay, علي يوسف موجود؟
نعم دكتور.
Okay. آلاء أحمد. Okay. نواف.
Yes, doctor.
آيات. إبراهيم.
Yes, doctor.
علي أحمد. موس.
Yes, doctor.
ناريمان.
Yes, doctor.
هديل.
Yes, doctor.
أحمد حمود. غني.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
من أنت عين؟
أحمد حمود.
بشرى.
Yes, doctor.
مريم ناجم. أوكي. قحطاني.
Yes, doctor.
علي ياسر.
موجود دكتور.
نريمان. أوكي. سعاد. أوكي. هدى. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
دكتورة
Yes.
ناديتي اسمي؟
من أنت؟
سعاد محمد.
إيه سعادة. Yes.
بس إنه قطع عندي شوي.
Oh, okay.